Hello and welcome back to the International Builders Show. I'm Heidi Ellsworth and the coffee shops are here with Westlake Royal Building Products. I have to tell you, there are a lot of people in Vegas right now. Las Vegas is teeming and we are out in the show village outside the Tapco booth. We just got done with some great demos. We're seeing their brake machines and everything that Tapco's offering, the building, roofing, siding, construction industries. So we wanted to hear, what should you as contractors be looking forward to? What's looking out there on that economic landscape? So we asked our friend, our very good friend who keeps coming back because he likes us, Paul Trembitas with FMI to come and visit. Hello.
Heidi, how are you?
It's good to see you. We just saw you last week.
I know. It's always a pleasure to back-to-back weeks.
I know. But you know what? I just love what you share about what's going on out there. FMI does such great research, and you are so great at bringing it down so that we all understand it. All
well,
this
thank you.
Research.
I appreciate that.
Since we're outside the Tapco booth, let's start with Tapco tools, I should say. Let's start with what the metal industry is looking like. Why should contractors be looking at these kind of tools, and why should they be getting into more metal? What's happening?
So in the metal market, we've done a number of studies. As you know, we do the Metal Construction Association metal wall and roof study, and just over the past 5 years, metal has seen a substantial uptick in both roof and wall. And on the roofing side, we have residential at about 15% of the total market, but a heavy emphasis on the re-roof.
Yeah.
We see a lot of that, particularly as we've seen the disasters occur in re-roofing. We'll kind of continue to see metal. And then on the commercial side, a lot of IMP use, a lot of the manufacturing and data center. And in the other pieces, the pre-engineered metal buildings, we're seeing that grow, particularly with the warehouse growth. We're seeing it in data centers and a lot more commercial and retail applications. So overall, the metal space is poised for growth, and there's a lot of interest, not only from the folks inside the U.S., but coming into the market from outside, because they see it as a real opportunity to grow in this market.
We're seeing the same thing on Metal Coffee Shop. We have so many, our erectors, our exterior contractors, whether that is wall, like you said. What we're seeing here today with Tapco, really using metal across the board on the outside and the exterior. It's just the resiliency and the durability of metal is changing the landscape.
It really is. Sustainability factor, the longevity, and then we always like to joke the Chip and Joanna Gaines factor always plays into it as well.
It does. Well, it's beautiful. You can't help it.
You can't. I know.
So
it looks great.
I know. Okay, so one of the things I look forward to every year from FMI is your North American Construction Outlook report.
Right, yes.
And you're going to be on our podcast, Contractor Outlook.
That's right. On the 11th.
On the 11th, yes.
Yeah.
Talking about this. But so let's give a little sneak peek on this report. What were some of the findings that FMI is going to be putting out there to the industry?
So two major themes that we're seeing, obviously the continued growth in data centers and reshoring and manufacturing. That had manufacturing in particular from 21 to 22, over 50% growth, 22 to 23, over 50% growth, and then this last year we saw 20% growth. So manufacturing is a huge trend. High-tech, semiconductor, EV, battery storage, and then the data center market. So certainly don't see any change there. What I will say, though, also in the office sector is SEC released a report that showed over the last 15 years how many corporations have relocated outside of their state, and it was the highest percentage of 10%. To drive a lot of growth and new offices in more secondary. So Tampa, Raleigh, Charlotte, Austin, Nashville, we're going to see those continue. The other people
Wow.
non-residential, right around a one.
Much of what's been happening with the storms, the fires, does that play into that, or is this just organic?
It plays.
Like booth is absolutely beautiful. Outdoor roofing, siding, stone, you name it, the whole 9 yards. So we're gonna switch our mics here. That. And do we need to repeat?
Go back 2 minutes.
Okay,
What
so
were we at 2 minutes ago?
we were actually talking about the residential, and I wanted to talk more about this anyway because the residential growth, I think, is fascinating because there's a lot of people out there right now who are kind of not so sure, but you found that you see the growth of the residential market this year.
We do. So what we're seeing is a slight slowdown in the overall volume year over year into 26, but single family through 27, 28 is going to be very favorable.
Okay.
And the growth continuing, and it goes back to the fundamentals of demand. There's a housing shortage. But one of the interesting points I saw that I believe the Census Bureau released was the median homebuyer age was 56.
Really?
Is that not
50,
crazy?
That's crazy.
I know.
I know. You think it's going to be more millennial. Yeah.
And it comes to the affordability aspect as well, and the holdout on what rates are going to do. But from an overall demand, we still see the large builders, the custom builders moving forward with projects, and people still need houses.
Yeah.
And, so we anticipate growth continuing. Now, it's not going to be 10%, 15%, but it'll be a stable 4 to 5% growth over the next several years.
I have the feeling that I think all of us would be happy with stable.
Stable is great. Stable is great.
Stable is good. Bring it on. Okay, you said something earlier that I want to track back on a little bit too, and it was really interesting that corporations are moving out of where they've been traditionally, their states. They're moving into other states and building. What's happening to all of the properties that are being moved out of? Because what I keep hearing is that office buildings they're having a hard time keeping the leases
They
going.
are. I think that's certainly a challenge, particularly in the. So if you look at overall construction market, there are 12 geographies that make up 35% of spending.
Wow.
What we anticipate seeing over the next 5 to 10 years, that secondary cities, the Nashvilles, the Austins, to start moving up and representing a larger share. And as far as the repurposing of those buildings, we've seen some where we're conversion to labs, in particular like Austin or Los Angeles, San Diego. But for now, it'll be interesting to see what happens with those buildings, given just the pure volume of organizations that are moving out of their current locations.
It seems like opportunity.
It does.
To repurpose, multifamily, a lot of different things that could go on. Startups.
Exterior, facade, interior, tenant fit out, a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. So as you are on, we're going to be having Paul come back on Contractor Outlook Newscast. Check that out. You can check it out on Roofers Coffee Shop and see what's happening on this level, because I think this is so important. The research that FMI is doing with the Metal Construction Association and with the construction industry overall is amazing. So, and I'm just so honored that you keep sharing it with us.
No, I'd love to. And there's one more point, if you don't mind.
Yes, I would love it.
One of the big things that we're obviously driving data centers is the use of AI.
Yes.
And so we did a survey recently, and it was with the largest general contractors and engineering firms in the U.S.
Ooh.
And 65% of them are using AI technology on their projects.
Wow.
Now, the interesting piece is 70% of them have not identified the impact or efficiency gains. So right now there's this gap between having measurable outcomes with using AI and implementing, because maybe it's a trend or a fad.
Right.
So it really gets back to
Interesting.
what are you trying to accomplish? It's not a one size fits all. It's a very task-oriented focus, and having a strategy related to implementation of AI has been a big area of inquiry from firms in the
systems
market.
and processes.
That's it.
You know, it's so funny because when we talk about technology and they talk about like if you're going to bring new software in or you're going to bring these new technologies, if you don't have good systems and processes in the first place, that doesn't help. It just garbage in, garbage out.
It doesn't. And you think about when people first adopted the computer, nobody just bought the hardware.
Yeah.
They bought the software and what tools and programs worked for their applications and the type of work that they did. Similar to AI. And
Right.
so we'll see that over the next couple of years. That'll be a big trend.
Interesting. We got to talk more about that. Okay.
Happy to.
I love that. I love it. Well, stay tuned. We have a lot more folks coming from the Tapco Tools booth. We're going to be doing some more demos. We have talking to folks. So stay tuned. We're going to be back soon. Thanks.
Thank you.